Hi everyone, thanks for tuning into Makeup by Ammo. Today I'm going to tell you about my experience with growing out my hair and 10 steps that you can take to do the same. So the very first step that I took in order to grow out my hair was actually to cut it, which seems like it would be defeating the purpose, but what had happened is I did a really bad at-home highlighting kit and it really damaged my hair. My hair was about this long and it would never grow any further than that, and it just started breaking that I had to cut it. I cut it really short and I probably took off about 6 inches. Now by cutting my hair so short, what I was doing is I was removing all of the split ends. The ends of my hair were really healthy afterwards and it prevented a lot of breakage along the way throughout the time that I was growing out my hair. The second step is actually not to cut your hair every 2 to 3 months like a lot of hairstylists suggest. They suggest that you go in and you get a trim and you take off all of the split ends so that your hair can grow out faster, but really for me that just always kept it the same length. So what I suggest is try to push yourself to wait every 6 months to get your hair trimmed. And when you do, take off about 1 inch. This will be a little bit harder to do in the beginning because you'll be so proud of yourself for growing an inch that you won't want to cut it, but believe me, it's going to make your hair really healthy and really continue to prevent breakage during growing. The third step is actually to trim your own split ends. So since you're going to be waiting 6 months to get an official trim at the salon, what you'll do is if you have light hair, you'll wear a dark t-shirt. If you have dark hair, just wear a light t-shirt, and you're going to hold your hair like this, and you're actually going to find the split ends. Don't cut all of your hair. You're only going to find a split end. Also, if you see a little white dot on one of your hair strands, that is the beginning of a split end, so you're going to want to trim that as well. And you're just going to trim right above where it is. Now, by cutting the split ends, you are going to make your hair uneven. This is on purpose. You are trimming the hairs that aren't as healthy and you're letting the ones that are healthy continue to grow. You're going to start doing these trimmings between the 4 and 6 month mark. Again, it's a little tough to have your hair uneven for the last 2 months of growing before you get your trim, but it's totally worth it in the end. The fourth step that I took was I went out and I tried to find a product that would make my hair grow faster. And I'm definitely on a budget, so I needed it to not be too expensive. So I went to Sally's Beauty Supply and I found this Do Grow, and it's kind of like a Vaseline consistency. So you don't use too much or else you can get really kind of like oily on your scalp, but you just use a tiny bit of this when your hair's still wet when you get out of the shower, and you're just going to massage it into your scalp. Now when I was using it, I really felt like it was working. The next suggestion that I have for you guys has to do with washing your hair and conditioning your hair. So I suggest don't wash it every day. When you wash your hair, you can strip your hair of its natural essential oils, and so you want to make sure that it is healthy and naturally lubricated. And as far as conditioning goes, don't skimp out on conditioner. I used a lot of conditioner and I also massaged that into my scalp when I was still in the shower. This next step will be a little tough for any beauty queens out there. I suggest to use little to no heat on your hair. And what that means is you can blow dry your hair, preferably an air dry. I wouldn't do anything too close with the brush, and I suggest to stay away from curling or straightening as much as you can. Only do it for special occasions. The next step I have for you guys is to actually brush your scalp and massage your scalp every single night before you go to bed, even before you take a shower. When you brush your scalp, you're actually stimulating the growth of the hair and you're actually distributing the natural oil that your hair produces. This next step is when you start to experience some growth. Once you get to a point where you're going to bed and when you roll over on your pillow and you start to kind of tug on your hair, you want to make sure that you either put your hair into a loose braid or a bun when you sleep. Now, when you roll over onto your pillow and you pull on your hair, you can actually be breaking your hair. So this is another step that you can take to prevent breakage. The next step is to use products in your hair that are really healthy for your hair, and I'm going to show you two of my absolute favorites. This first one from Cut & Beauty Salon is Tech Italy Due Facetta Massimo, and this is a reconstructor and a nourishing treatment for severely, extremely damaged hair. Now this is something that you need to shake, and you're going to spray all throughout your hair when your hair is wet. And this is basically a leave-in conditioning treatment. This next product is the one and only argan oil that I got from Sally's Beauty. This stuff is so amazing. It's better than any oil that I've ever used on my hair. And this one I use in my hair when it's wet as well. I don't apply it to my roots though. I only do it from about here down. I also use it the day after washing to just kind of bring some of that oil back into my ends and make sure that they're conditioned. Now both of these products are about $20 each, so it is an investment, but I would say that this one lasts me about 6 to 8 months and this one lasts me about a year. So it's definitely worth it, and they're amazing. I can't suggest these enough. And the last step, believe it or not, we're already at the last step, is to do conditioning treatments in your hair. And doing that at least once a week would be amazing for your hair. Now once your hair is at the length that you want it to be, you can even do the conditioning treatments just once a month if you wanted to. You can do it more often if you wanted to, but while you are growing out your hair, I really do suggest that you do it at least once a week or once every 2 weeks so that your hair is really healthy and hydrated and it prevents that breakage. Alright guys, so those are my 10 steps to help grow out your hair, and I really hope that they work for you. It took me about 3 years to go from a length just under my jawline all the way to 2 inches under my bust line. If you follow these steps, I know that your hair is going to get a lot healthier, it's going to be hydrated, it's not going to break as often, and you're going to get one step closer to getting your goal hair length. As always, if you guys have any questions, just leave them in the comment box below. And until next time, stay beautiful inside and out. I love you all, and I will see you soon. Bye!